Welcome to the CEO's blog for this week, and as usual, we'll start with where we are with COVID. As we all know, the Victorian-New South Wales border and other borders have been opened, so New South Wales harness racing's protocols will follow the government protocols. But I remind everybody, we'll need to be flexible. We'll need to be flexible simply on what we've seen in this past week with South Australia. We've had the borders opened, we've had to close them, somewhat not hard borders closed, but the changes are there. So we'll work with that. Also, clubs, they must have a QR code from December 1. So if you need that code, it's very simple. The Blaney Club were able to get theirs basically overnight. So contact Morris Logue if you need some help in that direction. The other things we're looking at is also what we do with stable areas, and that's where we need these QR codes. One thing that has come out of that is that if the club or somebody conducting trials has a QR code, anybody can attend those trials, but they must have the QR code. We're moving forward with some of the better races towards the end of the year, the Red Ochre, the Shirley Turnbull, and of course tonight at Wagga and at Newcastle, we have the Regional Breeders' Challenge Finals. We want to conduct presentations. We want to have the owners on the track celebrating. We must respect social distancing and we must respect the protocols that are in place. So they come into effect from tonight, but we must follow them very, very closely. As we move forward, we want to relax all the protocols. What we also want to do is ensure that we've got maximum number of people on course. And in that respect, we have to work closely with the government on the social distancing guidelines. We're working with it now, and hopefully by the time the bigger meetings come along, we will be somewhere near having more than the 500 maximum that we're currently allowed. We're allowed that maximum for patrons, and on the other side of the fence, in the participants area, they count in their own area. So watch this space carefully. Hopefully we'll have owners at least back into the stable areas before Christmas. That is a report on the COVID-19 situation at the moment, but as I say, more is to come. Hopefully we don't regress back into what we've seen previously. And tonight, don't forget to enjoy the Breeders' Challenge Regional Finals. These finals will be held in Wagga and Newcastle, and for the first time this year, we will be conducting 8 finals. That's double the number of finals that we conducted last year. It's double the amount of prize money, and it's double the opportunities for owners, trainers and drivers to compete and win these great races. What we're looking at also in December, we will review what we've done in 2020, and we'll be reaching out to you people, and hopefully you'll make some very constructive comments that will lead into the entire Breeders' Challenge Series in 2021. Watch out for that survey from Harness Racing New South Wales, and please assist by commenting, making submissions, so that we take this series ahead even further than what we did this year under the postponed conditions. This week, many of you would have noticed that the TAB Regional Series will be conducted again next year, but with a bonus, and that bonus is there will be another Group 1 race added to the schedule. The regional finals will all be conducted as they were last year, or very similarly to. However, all the winners and some of the place getters in the finals of each of the regions will come together at Tabcorp Park Menangle and compete in what we call the Ultimate State Final. The horses that can compete in these races, of course, must be trained by New South Wales trainers. So it is something that Harness Racing New South Wales and Tabcorp are delivering directly back to New South Wales participants. Check those conditions out there on our website to make sure that you know what you need to have done to have your horse eligible in your region for this wonderful series. And I'm proud to say that no other state in Australia offers country-trained horses this opportunity to race in Group 1 races in their own region for so much money. And whilst focusing on feature races, the National Feature Race calendar is almost completed. There have been some difficulties with it, but it will now progress to the Harness Racing Australia Executive, where they may have to decide on a couple of clashes that are there in the calendar as it sits today. We move these races from the winter into the spring and summer for the right reasons, to make sure that we've got the best possible circumstances for people to attend the track and for the horses to perform to their highest level. But they don't all fit. When you throw in the Inter-Dominion in that period, it takes up 2 or 3 weeks of prime time. And of course, we don't wish to clash with the Inter-Dominion. So when we're moving around the Vic Bred, the New South Wales Breeders' Challenge and other races, such as the Australian Pacing Gold, we have a little bit of problem. Put on top of that, of course, the Breeders' Crown, which is the pinnacle for aged racing series in Australasia. Not easy to do, but nothing is impossible to achieve. So, as I say, Harness Racing Australia Executive will look at that in the coming week or so, but potentially, if that takes a little bit longer, the first half of the year should be able to be released by the end of the month. Keep an eye out of it. It's very important. You need to know where to place your horses, how long to give them a break for, when to bring them back, and what is there for you to compete in across this nation. Our highlights of the week package commences with Albury last Friday, where David Kennedy and Jackson Painting landed a double with Cool Hand Easton and Silent Rapture. At Newcastle on Friday night, the locals, Western Shiloh for Michael Dawson and La Cabeza Gem for Guy and Mitch Chappell won the Breeders' Challenge heats. Craig Cross and Luke McCarthy dominated at Tabcorp Park Menangle on Saturday night with 4 winners, whilst Ash Hart aboard Shorty's Mate made it 5 for Craig. 408 won for trainer-driver Matt Rue and owner Ben Hagney in a great finish to the Summersby Cider Pace in 150.9. The Blaney TAB Carnival Cups feature races on Sunday were won by Myra Dawn in the Billy Sue Memorial Blaney Cup for Steve Turnbull and Chasing the Wind for Amanda Turnbull and Isabel Ross. Borrowed Time for Brad Hewitt put in an exceptional performance in the 2-year-old race. Josh Gallagher across Monday at Newcastle and Tuesday at Menangle landed 5 winners, including Eagle Uno for trainer Barry Miller. It was Bet's night, that is Monica, Phoebe and Graham on Tuesday night at Young, with 2 winners in Josh Dillon and Pompey. Jason Grimson and Jack Trainer travelled to Bathurst on Wednesday night to combine with 3 winners, Xperia, Chrissy Chick and Hollywood Rookie. At Tamworth yesterday afternoon, Rippin' Good Feelin' opened the meeting and it was bred, owned, trained and driven by Jamie Donovan. Brothers Blake and Jake Hughes and Tom Ison landed doubles at the Tamworth meeting. Whilst on Tamworth, Ellie Chappell has had a year to remember. Firstly, being involved in a nasty fall at Inverell in the Cup, where Ellie badly broke an arm, she has now completed her Year 12 with an award-winning assignment for which she deserves every accolade. And of course, after the fall, Ellie soon returned to doing what she loves best, driving winners with skill and confidence. It is also pleasing to know that Sarah Rushbrook, who was severely injured in the fall at Inverell in March, has been cleared to return to active duty. Josh Gallagher's winning week continued with a double at Penrith last night with Mammals Magic and Triple VC, whilst Will Rickson also landed a double with Gigi Bob for Father Peter, the trainer, and Mother Cindy, the owner. And the fantastic Owners Association members bonus races finish up next week at Dubbo. The Owners Association has put a lot of work and a lot of money into supporting their members, and you should be a member if you're not. What was available and is available next week at Dubbo is $500 cash for members if their horse win the members bonus races. Add to that $1,500 credit from Australian Pacing Gold to use at next year's sales. And even more, if an owner's horse is in the race, they win $100. So the Owners Association, Michael Brown, Peter Green, Daniel Cordina and their hard-working committee should be complimented on what they do for putting something back to their members. Again, I'll say you should be a member if you are an owner. Only 3 more meetings to go for the Racing for Prostate Cancer Research at Tabcorp Park Menangle. This wonderful effort is supported by Tabcorp, by Club Menangle, Harness Racing New South Wales and a host of other affiliates. So far, $3,000 has been raised. So when horse 4 gets up at Tabcorp Park, Menangle, everybody pitches in. If you wish to pitch in as well, contact Katie Butt out at Club Menangle and you can maybe add a little bit more to this fundraising effort. All the money we can raise goes towards a very good cause, and that's the research into a cure for prostate cancer. Of course, probably we know somebody that suffered from it. Maybe some of us have suffered from it in our industry. So every little bit we can do only goes to a good cause. So cheer on Horse 4 over the next 3 meetings at Tabcorp Park, Menangle. Foal of the week this week is this filly by Art Major from the 2017 Lexus of Parramatta Canola Cup winner, I'm With Lexi, sent in by the man in the big hat, Lex Crosby. On breeding and type, everyone would like to own and race this filly, but like all the others that Lex breeds, she ain't for sale. An early choice for a name is naturally the Art of Lexi. What a stunner she is. That's the blog for this week, but don't forget the regional finals tonight at Newcastle and Wagga, and of course all the rest of the fantastic racing that's coming up in the week ahead. All the best of racing luck, wherever you are, punting luck, whatever you do, but most importantly, enjoy harness racing across New South Wales and across Australia.